100,000 years ago, if you stood on this ground, you'd be surrounded by monsters. Lions the size of a small car. Bears that could look down into a second-story window. Every single one of them was stronger than you, faster than you, and better armed than you. Now look at that same ground today. The lions the size of cars are gone. The giant bears are gone. And you're still here. By the end of this video, you'll understand something strange. A zebra today is more scared of the sound of a person talking than it is of a lion standing right next to it. Before I show you why, comment below with what you think is the single deadliest animal alive. Keep that answer in mind. You're about to find out it isn't even close. To understand how it became this, you don't start with weapons. You start with something stranger, the things we leave in the ground. In northern Italy, archaeologists opened a 1,400-year-old grave and found a man who'd lost his right hand, cut off clean, probably in a single blow. Instead of dying without it, he strapped a knife to the stump with leather and a buckle and kept living. We know exactly how long he used it too. The teeth on one side of his mouth are worn almost flat from years of tightening those leather straps with his teeth. Every single day. No other animal on Earth replaces a missing limb with a weapon and just keeps going. That man at least had a reason. What people did in Jericho 9,000 years ago doesn't. Families there dug up the skulls of their own dead, packed them in wet plaster, and pressed seashells into the eye sockets to make the face look alive again. Then they painted them and kept them in the house under the floor where everyone slept. Close enough to see every single day. On a Scottish island called South Uist, it goes further. Under the floor of a 3,000-year-old house, archaeologists found two bodies that looked completely ordinary until they tested the bones. Nothing matched. One skeleton had the skull of one person, the jaw of another, and limbs from two people entirely. It wasn't one body. It was several different people, taken apart and rebuilt into a single one, soaked in a peat bog to preserve the flesh, then kept above ground for years before anyone finally buried it. Some of those pieces came from people who died generations apart, which means someone held on to parts of the dead for decades, waiting, before the final body was ever finished. Keeping the dead, even rebuilding them, can still come from something like love. What was found in Kenya doesn't. In a region called Turkana, scientists found a single shin bone, 1.45 million years old, with 9 cut marks made by a stone tool, sitting exactly where you'd cut to strip meat from bone. It's the oldest clear evidence of one of our ancient relatives butchering another of its own kind for food. This was over 1 million years before modern humans even existed. No other animal buries its dead, paints their faces back on, or rebuilds bodies from parts. We've been doing strange, deliberate things since long before we were even fully human. But strange isn't the same as terrifying. For that, you need to look at what this soft little creature could do better than anything else alive. Picture a man on open grassland at midday, watching an antelope graze a few hundred meters off. No bow, no trap, just a sharpened stick and a body that would lose a straight fight to almost anything out here. So he doesn't fight it. He walks toward it. The antelope bolts instantly and vanishes over the horizon in seconds, a speed the man could never match. But he doesn't chase, and he doesn't speed up. He just keeps walking, same direction, same pace. An hour later, he finds the antelope resting in the shade. It bolts again. He keeps coming. Here's what the antelope's body can't get around. Running builds heat fast, and an animal covered in fur has almost no way to dump it. It can't sweat like a human, and it can't pant and gallop in the same breath, so every sprint costs heat it can't pay back while it's still moving. The man is built the opposite way. Nearly bare skin, millions of sweat glands, cooling with every step. He can pour out a liter of water an hour and just keep going. On that whole plain, he's the only large animal that can run and cool down at the same time. Try this right now. Jog in place for 10 seconds. That heat building up under your skin? An antelope has almost no way to get rid of that while it's still running. You do. That's the entire hunt in one sentence. So this was never really a chase. It was slow, patient math, and the antelope's own body loses the argument. Its temperature climbs until its organs can't keep up, its legs stop answering, and it goes down without ever being caught. The man just walks the last few steps. Some researchers argue this kind of hunting was rare, and that's a fair point worth saying out loud. But rare or not, it shows the blueprint underneath everything else. Long before a single weapon existed, we were already the shape on the horizon that never turns back. But running something down takes hours, so we found a way to end it in 1 second from across a clearing. Pick up a rock right now in your head. Notice how naturally your arm already knows what to do with it. A chimpanzee is several times stronger than a grown man. Pound for pound, it could tear you apart with its bare hands. But it can only throw at around 20 miles an hour, and it can barely aim. An 8-year-old kid can throw a baseball at nearly double that speed. The answer is hiding in your shoulder. Over millions of years, three things changed together. The waist widened so the upper body could twist on its own, the shoulder dropped, and the upper arm bone untwisted. Together, that turned your shoulder into a slingshot. When you cock your arm back, the tendons stretch like elastic and store energy, then release it all at once. It's the fastest motion the human body can make, and it shows up in the fossil record around 2 million years ago, in an ancestor called Homo erectus. Think about what that meant. Every predator on Earth has to touch its prey to kill it. A lion has to close its jaws on you. A wolf has to reach you with its teeth. We didn't. We became the first animal that could kill from a distance, standing somewhere safe while the prey never got close enough to fight back. A thrown rock. Then a sharpened spear. Then a spear you could launch even harder. Every weapon since is just a longer version of that same moment. But one person with a rock is still just one person. What actually turned us into something the whole animal kingdom fears is what happened when we stood together. Watch a pride of lions hunt, or a pack of wolves, and it looks like teamwork. It mostly isn't. Each animal is chasing its own best shot, and the results just happen to line up. Chimps hunt in groups too, and it's the same story. Every chimp out for itself. Humans do something no other animal can. One person drives the prey, others wait in ambush, someone signals, and everyone adjusts together, because everyone is holding the same plan in their head at the same time. And here's the part nothing else alive can do. Each person knows that the others know the plan too. A wolf pack is just a group of wolves. A band of humans is closer to one mind spread across a dozen bodies. A single intention with 30 pairs of hands, one that can plan for tomorrow, remember yesterday, and pass everything it learns down to the next generation. You're not frightening because your body is strong. You already know it isn't. You're frightening because you were never really fighting alone. You were always a piece of something bigger. So give that creature time. The tireless legs, the throwing arm, the shared mind, and turn it loose on a planet full of giants. Then look at what's left. In South Africa's Kruger National Park, home to one of the largest lion populations on Earth, scientists wanted to know what these animals actually fear most. They hid speakers at the watering holes and played sounds while animals came to drink. First, real lion snarls, close and loud. The animals tensed, a few backed off, but most held their ground. A lion is a threat they've lived with their whole lives. Then they played something else, not a roar, not a gunshot, just people talking quietly at normal conversation volume. The watering hole emptied. 95% of the animals ran. They were twice as likely to flee from a human voice as from a lion, and they cleared out 40% faster. Elephants, giraffes, rhinos, leopards, all of them ran from people chatting. Scientists gave us a name for it, the super predator. And it isn't just one park in Africa. In the mountains of California, researchers ran a similar test on wild mountain lions, some of the most powerful predators in North America. The moment they played quiet human voices near a lion feeding on its own kill, the lion froze, abandoned the meal, and vanished into the dark. Nearly everywhere researchers try this test, they get the same result. From the biggest cats to the smallest rodents, the natural world has quietly agreed on one thing. The most dangerous sound on the planet is a human voice. You've probably spent your whole life a little afraid of the dark, of what's out there, past the firelight. Turn that around. You're carrying all of it with you right now. The legs that can run anything into the ground, the arm that kills from across a clearing, the shared mind that emptied entire landscapes just by showing up. To every other animal alive, you were never the one who should be afraid of the dark. You were the thing in it. So go back to the animal you named in the comments earlier. Still think it's the deadliest?